Glad to have you join, and I will be waiting just for a few seconds or 1 minute thereabouts for some other persons to join him. Yes, I'm glad that you made it in here today. Alrighty, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're joining in from. I'm glad you made it in here today. And just 1 more minute, I'd like us to hold on a bit just to confirm if you can hear me. Call your friends, call your neighbors, let them know we have started. All right? Okay. I'd like to know if you can hear me and you can see me. Okay, good evening. Confirm that you can hear me. Confirm that you can see me. With that confirmation, I will just start right away. Adediji Ruth, thank you for joining in. I'm glad you were able to make it in here today. Kindly remind your loved ones, your friends, and everyone that should be here that we have started this session. So, at any point in time you have anything to share, do well to drop it in here. I have a slide to share, and I hope I'll be able to do that. Can you see me? Okay. Yeah, glad to know that you are here. It's a webinar session, and we're here on the topic that says why you keep attracting the wrong relationships. Why you keep attracting the wrong relationships. Yeah. Today we'll be leaving you with 5 hidden patterns that keeps you from healthy love. And at the end of the day, you would know for sure the next step you should take. All right? Okay. Let me start by saying this: do not just pray for the right person, but prepare to build the right relationship. A lot of people plan to get married to the right person per se, but they are not preparing to be the right person. Many a times as well, they just hope that things will work out as planned without necessarily putting the right measure in place. And that's why it looks like they are on the same spot. We would unravel this today. Okay. So I welcome you for joining in today. It's a safe space for you for us to have honest reflection, to learn and also to grow. And it's not about blaming yourself for past relationships that you have been in. Rather, it's about understanding your story, to recognize patterns, and also make healthier choices that would help you to fulfill your marital destiny. So you do not have to be perfect before marriage. Rather, you just need to understand your story and understand steps you need to take for your marital fulfillment to be a reality. So are we together today? I like that we are dropping in our chats so that we can be interacting together. So I like to start today by asking you some few core questions. All right? Hold on for me a bit. Number one, why do good people sometimes keep experiencing painful or unhealthy relationships? You want to drop for me in the chat box. Why do you think good people they always experience painful or unhealthy relationships? You have heard some people say, oh, it's only good people that always will not even have the right person to marry. Okay? Even people that have done bad all their lives, good things are happening to them, they are getting married. And in fact, it looks like no bad thing has actually happened in their past. If you've ever heard that, do you want to share with us? Why do you think it is so? Drop for us in the comment section. Do you think it's simply bad luck or just chance? Perhaps it's just chance that made it so, right? I'm waiting for our comments. I need us to interact together. I won't be the only one talking. Yes, is anyone saying anything? Who is with me here today? Let's talk. Let's cruise together. Why do good people supposedly always have bad relationships? Or they always fall into the wrong hands? Why do you think it is so? Is anyone saying something? Who's saying something? I'm not sure I can see anything in the comment section. I just want to be sure I can see. Oh, you don't know, but no one prays for such, right? Okay. Again, let me ask. Your relationship, just like I said, that you have been into bad relationship is not your fault, and the fact that it's not your fault does not mean you should stay in that bad relationship. Rather, what should you do? Decide, learn from it, and then move on ahead. So your relationship history is merely information. It's not your destiny. It doesn't matter how it is that the relationship have been the way it has been. Rather, the key thought for you is to understand is the fact that oh our behavior, okay. So editorial outreach says our behavior. Our behavior is why good people enters into bad relationships. Okay. Unlike it, our behavior, sometimes some people don't actually do anything bad, but they bless find themselves. Jesus boy, welcome. Glad to have you here. Please send your other friends to join us for this interesting session today. Okay, our behavior. Ruth says she doesn't know. All right, but we will unravel it today and be able to learn so that as a good person, you don't enter into bad relationship anymore. And if you are not the one concerned, maybe a friend or whoever, you help them to make right choices so that they don't fall prey of the. All right. So who is this masterclass for? It is for you if you are single and you desire to marry genuinely. You genuinely desire to have a marriage that is blissful. It is also for you if you have experienced heartbreak, you have experienced rejection at any point in time in your life, you've been betrayed a number of times, or you've been jilted. This masterclass is also for you. And it's also for those who keep seeing similar relationship patterns, those who are hopeful about marriage but want to prepare more intentionally. This is for you as well. Again, anyone that is willing to examine their own choices without shame, this masterclass is also for you. Now that we know who this masterclass is, which bucket did you fall into? Either ways, maybe it's not even, there's none of them that is yours. You may think, but you see, the knowledge you can gain from today's session can help you to be able to help others who may be victims. So let's unravel 5 hidden patterns that makes people who are good to go into wrong relationship. Number 1, unhealed wounds. Number 2, your relationship blueprint. Number 3, familiarity mistaken for compatibility. I'll take them one after the other. And as I'm sharing them, I'd like you to engage the chat box, drop them one after the other. 1, unhealed wounds. 2, your relationship blueprint. 3, familiarity mistaken for compatibility. I'm not saying let's drop in the chat box. Please drop, so that someone who is joining in after now can also be able to follow us as we go on in the session. I come again. Number 1, unhealed wounds. Number 2, your relationship blueprint. Number 3, familiarity mistaken for compatibility. And number 4 is fear-based relationship decisions. Number 5, lack of discernment and preparation. We're going to take this one by one. Please help us engage the chat box. We're going to engage all these 5 hidden patterns one by one, and you don't want to miss understanding any one of them. Maybe I'll take it all over again. Number 1, unhealed wounds. Number 2, your relationship blueprint. Anyone you can catch, just write it. Thank you. Number 3, familiarity mistaken for compatibility. When familiarity is mistaken for what? Compatibility. Number 4, fear-based relationship decisions. And the last one is lack of discernment and preparation. All right, so let's take this pattern one by one. Let's unravel it and understand what this pattern is and how we can stay clear from them. Unhealed wound is number 1. You may be dating from your wound instead of from your wholeness. I mean, a lot of times I've passed through issues of life. We call it hurt. We call it pain of the past. Whether it is that it may not even be a relationship, like a marital relationship issue you had with somebody, but the fact that you stayed with your parents and emotionally they are not together, you have experienced a whole lot of hurt from them. You carry that wound or that trauma to your own marriage and think that's how all relationships will be. So everything that happens around us dictates to us how it is that we can begin to fall victim of these things knowingly or unknowingly. So you may have identified this wound or not, but it's important for you to open your eyes as we talk through the session today so you can. Heartbreak can also affect your self-worth. Some people have passed through heartbreak issues, and that has affected their self-worth, the trust they have in people, the way they set boundaries with people, the expectations and decision making. It has affected them that they don't even believe in themselves again. They don't even trust that they can make a decision by themselves and it will work. Because after all, the last relationship they were into, they thought they set relationship boundaries and it turned out to be bad. So at the end of the day, what happened? They were jilted or they were rejected. At the end of the day, they're not glad the way it ended. And that's why it's important that you find out if you are falling prey of this and decide to move on ahead by taking the right decisions for today. Okay, so unhealed wounds. We may have passed through wounds, but don't allow your wounds to decay because your wound can make you traumatized, can make you stay in that space of life without you healing up. People have said that time will tell over the wounds you have passed through. But no, time will not even heal that wound except you do something about it. So rejection can create reassurance seeking. You are only getting someone to reassure you that yes, you are good enough, even when you are good enough. Because you've been rejected in time past. So there's that wound in your mind that makes you feel you are not good enough. And betrayal, on the other hand, can also create excessive suspicion. Because you've been betrayed in the time past. You then feel or begin to suspect everyone around you, even when the person does not mean harm. So, how about abandonment? When you are abandoned, whether as a little girl, your daddy just absconded, or your mommy just absconded, or the person you are staying with absconded, or the person who wanted to marry you just absconded after taking a whole lot from you, then that can make unhealthy relationships feel safer for you rather than being alone. Because you've been abandoned in time past. So now that you have somebody that said, oh, I want to marry you, you just suddenly feel that, oh, if I don't say yes to this person would run away. Oh. This person will abandon me and then I'll be left alone. So instead of being alone, let me just stay in this relationship, even when you know that the relationship is unhealthy. I mean, I heard the story of a lady who came to meet me and was telling me, ma'am, there's this man I'm in relationship with. I know that every time I'm with him, I don't have peace. But he keeps telling me about prophecies about myself, about the future we'll have together. But there's no time he tells me about things about me that makes me feel good about myself. I always feel bad. I feel like I am not worthy enough. I feel like I don't have a self-worth of my own. For such a person, and then I asked her, I said, so do you think you can end up with this person? Or do you think that you find joy saying yes to this person? She said, no. So why are you in the relationship? She's simply afraid if another man will come to ask for her hand in marriage. So such a person is wounded and has this wound that is still unhealed. I mean, it's not bad to have wounds, but it is so worse for you to have the wound and decide not to do something about it. So the key thought here is a wound can influence your choices without becoming your identity. A wound you had in time past can influence the next choice you make without becoming your identity. Your wound don't have to be your identity. No, it does not have to. So write it in comment section. My wound don't have to become my identity. No, it does not have to be. So we'll go through what we need to reflect on for this particular number one. That is, what happened to me? When what happened happened? What is that one thing that happened? Ask yourself again, what did I begin to believe about myself? What did I begin to believe about love? What belief may need to be challenged or replaced? But you see, the healthy truth here is that my past is part of my story, but it is not my identity. So your past is part of your story, but it is not part of your identity. So you should not identify with it because it will only always put your back on the ground and not make you believe in yourself. All right, so let's unravel pattern two, and I'd like you to put it in the comment section. That is your relationship blueprint. Your relationship blueprint. All right. So you don't enter relationships with an empty mind. I have met quite a lot of young ones, both male and female, that are in relationships. And when I take time to ask them simply, why are you in that relationship? They don't have an. I'm like, so what would you be doing in a relationship if you don't even know why you are there? So you should be able to know why you are in that relationship, because that will grant you the vision for why you are in it. And then you begin to work towards the vision. So because without vision, the people will perish. So if you don't have vision for why you are in that relationship, that's why you see people engage in what they did not plan to go into. I've heard some people say, oh, well, I'm now in relationship with this guy, just 6 months now, I'm pregnant. I'm like, so you didn't think you were going to get pregnant? I said, no, I'm not ready for it. So if you were not ready for it, why did you go into it? You didn't count your cost. So that's exactly what we are saying here. All right, so you carry ideas about love, marriage, and conflict, money, sex, family, and communication issues. So your relationship blueprint here is very important because it tells you about the idea you already have about love. If I begin to sample opinion now to say, what do you think is love? I mean, I will hear different definitions from people. Some people might say, oh, it's affection. It's when you fantasize towards someone. It's love at first sight. It is sacrifice. It's compassion. It's care. You have gotten what you believe about love by maybe a belief system that was passed down to you, which is not even yours originally. So beyond what I've heard people say what love is for you and to you, what is love? What is love? Love is that thing that you have identified by yourself. It should be that thing you have identified by yourself, not what people have told you. The same is true. What is marriage? What do you think conflict is? What do you think money is? What do you think sex is? What do you believe about family? What do you believe about communication and trust? If you don't identify these things one by one, you will be surprised that you have carried a wrong belief or an archaic belief from your past into your new marriage, which then have made you to be on a standstill, and is making you to always be at this stop, where it is that people are dumping you in relationship, or rather you are the one dumping girls, thinking, oh, all ladies are the same. I don't have time for them again. I've heard a young man said that sometimes, like, so you see all these ladies, all of them are the same. I don't even have the time. I'm like, don't you even think maybe it is you that something is even wrong with? Maybe you are the one making the same mistake. If all of the girls, something is wrong with them, so maybe you are the one doing the wrong thing because you are the constant factor in the whole equation. So simply ask yourself, where did I learn what love is? How about family? What do you believe about family? What do you believe about culture? What do you believe about church, media, friendship, and previous relationships that you had? Because all of these belief systems can shape your expectations. It can shape your expectations. So you should begin to sit down to unravel what you truly believe about all of these things one by one. The key thought here for you is you cannot build a healthy marriage consistently from an unhealthy blueprint. Type it in the comment section. You cannot build a healthy marriage consistently from an unhealthy blueprint. If you understand that, then it means that if you have carried an unhealthy blueprint up until now, you need to heal up from that unhealthy blueprint. Make it healthy before you then say, yes, I do in marriage. You cannot build a healthy marriage consistently from an unhealthy blueprint. All right. So the family blueprint you should have here is that you should sit down first of all to reflect. What did I observe about love at home when I was growing up with my parents? How did people handle disagreement around me? How was affection expressed or withheld? Some people, when affection comes, when someone wants to hug them or tell them they love them, they express it. Some withhold it because that's what they've seen growing up. What did I learn about money and gender roles? For people, they believe it's only the man that should do some manly things. It's only the woman that's going to pitch into cook. This belief, you need to identify whether it is truly yours or the ones you pick up from the streets or from your parents, and identify whether you truly identify with this belief. What family patterns do I want to keep? Because if you don't understand and identify the family pattern you want to keep, you'll be surprised that you bring the pattern from your family down into your own. And the last reflection I want to make on this is, what pattern do I want to change? Because one of the patterns myself and my husband decided to change is the fact that we will not shout at our children again, for instance. Because we saw that for our parents to get us to do what they wanted us to do, they needed to shout at us. But we saw that that pattern would create more damage than good. So we decided to say we are not going to shout at the students. Rather, we let them see reasons why something should be done. Just understand it from that angle, and they pick it up from there, where we put in systems in place. And believe you me, it is actually working. All right, pattern number 3, familiarity versus compatibility. Some people have mistaken familiarity with compatibility. If you have ever heard some people talk about cooler ministry or umbrella ministry. So cooler ministry is that, where back then on campus where you see some ladies go and cook for young men, supposedly so that the men can see that they are good cooks. Maybe they one day will say, yes, I love you, would you marry me? And canopy ministry is where a man hovers around a lady all the time. They see them together, they go to the life together, eating together, doing everything together. You almost want to think that yes, they are in relationship. Meanwhile, they are not. So this is familiarity, and if you don't put in structure or boundary, you are going to endanger yourself. You will supposedly think that you are in relationship, that you are not. So that's what we call situationship. People think they are in relationship, whereas what they are into is what? Situationship. And when you ask them the marital status, they are confused. They don't know whether they are in relationship, they are engaged, or they are not. So they have rather made familiarity a priority in this sense. So familiarity versus compatibility is the next one. And here you want to ask yourself, what feels familiar? I mean, you want to tell yourself that what feels familiar is not always what is healthy. You may have your list in your head, and this is so fun. Ladies are so fond of this. They have the list, the kind of man they want to marry. The same is true for men too. I've seen where it is that men also have their list. If she's not figure 8 as they want it, then it's no, it's a no, no, no. If she's not fair as they want, then it's a no, no, no. All of those things, they really do not matter. You must identify what feels familiar and know that what feels familiar is not always what is healthy. What feels familiar is not always what is healthy. So don't mistake chemistry for compatibility, because they are not. Write it down in the comment section. Do not mistake chemistry with compatibility, because they are not. Do not also mistake attention for commitment. The fact that every time you talk, this guy is always paying rapt attention to listen to you does not mean this person is committed to go into a lifelong relationship with you. The fact that also you get intensity from a relationship, meaning that this person gives quality time and all of that to you, does not mean that you are intimate. No, it does not. So intensity does not equate to intimacy. I mean, while on campus in those days, I was the only lady that reads amongst 3 guys. We read together, go to a library to study together. You see us on campus together. So I should not for once mistaken the fact that we do all of those together to not think that yes, we are intimate. Oh no. You may only be intimate on some issues, especially when it comes to books, but there's a boundary. And one of the mistakes most singles fail to do is to set clear-cut boundaries that everyone relating with you understand that this is the boundary. Again, don't mistake potential for character. There's this guy then that had all of the potentials I love to see in a man. He's born again, he's spirit-filled, he's tongue blasting, he plays music, he plays organ, he plays trumpet. He's very sound intellectually. He's a good Bible study teacher. The list is long. Those are potentials, but it does not equate character. Somebody might have good potentials that you have identified or you want in a man that you want to marry or in the lady you want to marry, but it does not equate to the fact that the person has character or not. This is why some people are falling into wrong relationship, because somebody says he carries title in the fellowship or in the church, is the president of the fellowship. is the local chairman, local chairman of my whatever. Is this one, is that one. So they get carried away. And ladies are fond of this a whole lot of the times. They're always swayed off their feet when they see a man carrying title or has fame or have money. Don't be moved by all of those things, because those things can deceive you. So potential does not equate character. And here again, you should know that familiarity is not also equal to healthy love. The fact that someone is familiar with you does not mean that the person truly loves you. So learn to evaluate character. The Bible, the Bible also talks about it in Proverbs 31, verse 29. It says, beauty is charming, is very good to see, but it does not last. Only the woman that fears God shall stand. The same is true of the man that fears God. Have you not heard of women who try to do all they can do to keep their husband from sleeping around? Everything they know in the world to do, they can do what they are doing. But yet the man is sleeping all around. That's to let you know that it's only the fear of God that can make a man not to do it if he decides otherwise. If he decides not to, you can do anything, even if you do all that you think you can do. So that's why you must know that you must evaluate their character and be sure that this person truly has character indeed, because this character is what will stand the test of time. So let's evaluate the character. You should evaluate the character of whoever you want to say yes to in relationship, or you want to ask out in marriage. Ask yourself, do words and action of this person agree? This person tells you, oh, I will join you in the next 30 minutes. And you're checking your time, 35 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. There's no information to say, oh, so sorry, I'm held up by the rain, or there's hold up, or this on. And the person did not even do like something is wrong. Then begin to check. That's a red flag. Is there consistency in the character of this person? If you ask 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that know this person, would they say the same thing about the character of this person? How does this person handle disagreements? Some people, when they disagree, it's like they all should die. They are not seeking for peace at all. It means that this person is not a peaceful person. You need to also ask and evaluate to say, can this person take responsibility and apologize? Whether they are male or female, everyone can make mistakes, but we must all be ready to do what? Apologize. Can this person say, I'm sorry? Some people, their ego is too big that they cannot say, I'm sorry to anybody. That's a dangerous person to marry. So you must begin to identify all of these things one by one. You want to also ask, are these people emotionally available? Some people just want a relationship for a reason known to them, but they are not emotionally available. If at any point resonate with you as we talk, please keep dropping them in the chat box. Thank you very much. I appreciate my husband is the one dropping the points for us on the chat box. Thank you, Money. Then the other one is, are marriage intentions clear? Every lady should ask the person who is asking for their hand in marriage, why do you want to marry me? Why not any other lady on the street? Because the marriage intention should be very clear. You must ask the person, okay, I know why you want to marry me now, but what is your intention for coming to say that it's you that want to marry? Okay. And the last one you must also ask is, are your core values and expectations compatible? I've met single ladies that don't even understand what core values are. Talk more of saying having core values for themselves. So if they don't understand core values, how would they build family core values or family vision? Because if you don't even have family vision, personal vision, you would not be able to put in your core values to deploy or bring to bear your visions. So you must begin to know that your core values connect with the core values of this person. So you are somebody that have integrity, but this person is so dishonest that you cannot even trust him. If you blink your eye like this, what's in love? Such a person is a dangerous person, and you mean that you will know that you are not on the same page with this person. So let's look at pattern number 4, fear-based decision. Are you making a decision to go into relationship with this person because you are afraid you want to be alone? If you say no like this, hey, you that you are 30 years, or you that are 35, or you are almost 40, and you are thinking that, this one that I've just come now, if I say no because of this one red flag I've seen, who will not come and marry me? Or you're a single mother, you're feeling that, if I say no to this guy now, who will come again? or you are a single father, you feel if I don't say yes, or if I don't allow this lady to know, if I tell this lady that I have a child, the lady will not marry me, then you are building the foundation of that relationship on falsehood. And even if you go ahead to marry such a person, that marriage is not bound because you have blindfolded that person into that relationship. It's not binding by law, it's not also binding by the scriptures. So you should be plain, you should be truthful. If this person will marry you, the person will marry. I'll tell you of a story that I know of. It's not like they told me, I know of this story. A young man who is AS got into a relationship with another lady who is also AS. But this man beguiled the lady and deceived her to say that he was AA. They went to do medicals, but the result of the man was showing AA, not knowing that he has influenced the medical result. Upon getting married, because they would, before they even got married, the marriage counselor was in the church, asked them, bring us the result, they brought the result, and they saw that, oh, AA and AS, and they got married. After marriage, the first child was an SS. And they were surprised, like, what happened, especially the lady. But you said you are AA. How come is it that our child is SS? It was now the man was now saying, if I told you then that I was AS, you're not marrying, and I love you too well than to allow you to go. Because if I allow you to go, if I tell you the truth, you don't want to marry me. The lady said, no, how can this be? How can that be? You have deceived me. They tried. The man was like, should be they have money, they can always be going to take care of the baby, even with the money he has and all. The lady said, do you know the trauma I'm passing through? Do you know how it is that I go from hospital to hospital almost every week just because this lady? And as the baby is about 1 or 2 years as at then, and you see, to cut long story short, the lady could not cope again. They had to separate their ways. Now, would it not have been better if they had gone their separate ways then, when they were not even in any relationship, or when they did not marry? Rather than now that emotions are involved, they now have a child that is at their mercy, so to speak. It would have been better then, they would have met the right persons who would match their genotypes. But because of selfishness and self-centeredness, they made the destiny of this innocent looking baby to come and face this wicked world. That is a wrong thing to do. So fear-based decision, you have made it, or you are in that relationship because you are like, oh, I'm afraid of the fact that somebody will reject me, especially if you have been in a relationship that people have been labeling you for one thing or the other, maybe as a result of, oh, you are too slim, you are too big, you are too fair, you are too dark, all of those things. You don't even know what next the next person will say. So instead of me losing the chance of saying yes to this person, I rather go with this person. So you're afraid of rejection. You're also afraid because of your age. A young lady reached out to me some few weeks back and said, "Man, I'm 40 years old. I'm yet to be in a relationship, blah, 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 blah. And she's even tired, this one, that one." I told her, I said, see, um, age is just a factor, it's just a number. It should not put you under pressure. And she was like, "Mom, what did you say?" I said, yes. Age is an acronym that represents age for what? Achievement. What have you achieved in life, even as a single person? Because if you have not achieved anything as a single lady, you are seemingly just passing your time and you are counting years. You don't think that suddenly when you get married, you are going to achieve. No, it's not going to work like that. G represent growth. How have you grown spiritually, physically, psychologically, financially, emotionally, intellectually, in fact, in all life, to handle the pressure that marriage will bring to you? E, what experience have you gathered, both good and bad, and you have learned from that can also help others coming after you? By the time I was done with her, under 30 minutes, she knew that she was not ready for what she was hoping to have, which is marriage or relationship. The next question she was asking was, "Ma'am, how there can I find my purpose?" Because if you have not found your purpose as a single person, don't think that marriage supposedly will then hand over purpose to you. No, your purpose is who you are now. It is why you are on the head. So it is your why that you take into marriage. Okay, so some are also afraid of starting all over again. This relationship will be in it for 6 years. I will suddenly not cut it. No, that cannot be. I'll tell you a story of a close friend of mine when we were on campus. She was in this relationship for like 5 years thereabout then. Every time the relationship looked so perfect in the physical, everything was looking like it. We finished our school years then. And then one day, before we finish in our final year, I just had a premonition like, what if these people are not going to get married? I'm like, what kind of thought is that? I just pushed it off. Lo and behold, by the time we were serving, like some people say that trailer passed between them. Eventually, they went their separate ways, legitimately, you know. Now, if somebody had told them then that they are not going to end up marrying themselves, they will even fight the person and all of that. So emotion, everyone saw them together then on campus. If there was somebody who is interested in the lady or otherwise, they would have stepped clear because they saw that they were intimately in relationship. But alas, it didn't end up into marriage. So, but I'm glad that they were able to cut it because eventually that was not the will of God for both of them. But this relationship took them for like 5 years or even almost 6 years. But now they are both married separately to different people. The fact that they have gone too far in a relationship and you're counting years does not mean that by fire, by force, you must end up in marriage. Especially when you are seeing some big red flags. And if you close your eyes to them, by the time you wake up in marriage, it will be too late. Some also have the fear that this may be their only one chance, and that's why they don't want to back out from that relationship. For some others, it is fear of disappointing their family members. My mommy already knows him. My daddy already knows. If I go and tell them now that I'm no longer with the person, they will tear me up and all of those things. Can you tell yourself, first of all, that it is about your life and not your parents? It is primarily yours. Your parents, they are secondary. And be sure that you're taking the right choice. So the key thought here is desperation can make a bad relationship look like an answered prayer. Yes, because you are desperate. Everyone around you is telling you the red flags. You're just shutting them off. No, don't worry. That one we are taking care of it. Don't worry. We are okay. This one, well, at the end of the day, you have your way. You get married, but eventually it will be too late. You will now begin to face the music only when you get into marriage. So pause before you choose. Ask yourself, am I choosing this person from clarity or from the place of fear? Can I still choose this relationship without pressure about age? Am I also ignoring a red flag because I fear losing this person? Or am I compromising my core value because I just want a marriage? Healthy desire for marriage should not become desperation. No, it should not. If you sense that you are desperate, take a pause and count your cost very well. You know, the scripture says that a man who wants to build a house, who will not first sit down to count the cost, whether he's able to start and finish, that a man is foolish because people will then begin to make jest of the person that did he not count the cost before he went ahead. So that's why you must take time and decide if you are worth it before you go into it. All right, pattern number 5, discernment and preparation. Thank you, Urbanus Prince Colombo. Absolutely profound teaching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Glad you are joining. I hope you have not missed too much. Can catch up with the replay after now. Yeah, I recognize you. You are joining from Zambia, am I correct? You can drop your location as well. Thank you for joining in. So pattern number 5, discernment and preparation. The fact that you are ready to marry is more than being ready to have a wedding. Let me reiterate it again. Being ready to marry is more than being ready to have a wedding. I see people plan glamorously for marriage that will not take more than the most hours it will take, maybe 12 hours, you know. They don't take time to plan for marriage. There's no premarital counseling structured, and that is taking. Thank you for coming up online. Yes, from Zambia. Thank you. I recognize you. Thank you. You can share the link with your friends as well. Thank you. So they do not plan for marriage that will last almost forever. They are planning for a function, wedding ceremony that will not even last up until 12 hours. That's a foolish decision. It also means that they have not decided or counted their cost well enough. So the best you should do is to put in your energy to plan ahead for the marriage rather than the wedding. Yes, you plan for wedding, but the most of the energy should be on the marriage. So wedding is a subset of the main thing, which is the marriage. So, and part of your planning for marriage is for you to read books. By the way, we have written some books in the institute. Marriage Grace Academy, we have written quite a number of books, up until like 15 books, still counting. And then we have a few copies here, My Journey to Purpose and Personal Branding. If you want to find your purpose, this book is for you. And this is another one, Wed Before Bed. You know, this book helps you to know what you need to do before you say, yes, I do. This you must have. Very important. And this is another one that talks about before you marry. I met some married people who went through these books and discovered that, oh, there were things they skipped. They thought they knew it. Now that they are married, going through this book now, they saw that they did not even know those things before they married. Now, if you are single, this is the best time for you to have it. And if you are married, I tell you, the blessings in this book will do you good before you marry. This book contains 10 must-do tests before you say, I do. Each of these books goes for 3,500 naira. We have it as soft copy and we have it as hard copy. Anyone you want is good for you. But make sure that part of the preparedness for marriage is that you read while you attend conferences, you go for premarital counseling, you open up your mind to much learning and structured learning, not just kind of learning that is going up in social media. We live in the age and time of different information, but you should have a structured way of learning. In the institute, we have a way to teach you all of these things. If you follow us online, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Married Grace Academy. You will see that we drop some educational tips that will help you grow better and have a marital fulfillment. So ask yourself, can I communicate honestly with this person? Can I handle conflict without destroying connections? Like I said the other time, some people, when they are disagreeing with somebody, it's as though they should cut everything off. Whatever they have built up together is like they should scatter everything all at once just because they're angry, because they have not learned conflict resolution skill. Can I also set and receive healthy boundaries? You don't know how to set healthy boundaries for yourself, so you will not be able to also know how to respect some others who have set healthy boundaries for themselves. Like I mentioned the other time, I had 3 guys I was reading with while we were on campus, and these my friends, they know what my strengths are. They also know what my boundaries are. So they know how it is that they must not pass. If they pass, I change it for them. I don't have to communicate it, but by how I live, they know that these are my core values and this boundary I've set for myself. Can I recognize incompatibility? Some people think compatibility is, oh, he has money, I have money. He's working in the bank and also working in the finance institute. So that means we are compatible. Oh, no. You can even be a business person and this person works with a parastatal. It can be anything, you know. You both can also be business women, businessmen and businesswomen, depending. That does not show that you are compatible. Compatibility talks about, oh, do I know the personality trait of this person, and do I know mine? Do I know the love language of this person? Do I know mine? Okay. Do I understand my belief system and the belief system this person is bringing into the relationship? And what is it that we need to build together? Are we both ready to build it together intentionally? Those are things you should talk about, not yes, car, yes, money, and all of those things. Those things will fade away. All right. So can I set and receive healthy boundaries? Can I also recognize incompatibility? If you cannot, you need to book a session with us who would help you to identify how to recognize incompatibility. Can I also build with another person without losing myself? Some people, they say yes to everything, even when it is hurting. That is a wrong signal. You must learn to say no when you have to say no. You know, they taught us that song when we were in primary school. We didn't understand what they were teaching us. Do not say yes when you mean to say no. We used to sing that song. Some people actually meant no, but they don't know how to say no. No is very short, but it's powerful. And you don't have to be sorry for saying no. You don't need explanation to say no. Once it is no, no is no. You don't have to look back. I have ladies then when we're single that literally in their mind, they wanted to say no to this person who is asking for their hand in a relationship or marriage. But they don't have the strength enough to face the person and say no. I'm like, why? They will parabole. So because they don't know how to say no, the man keeps hovering around them like an open ministry, until they go into what they are not even planning to go. They go all the way, plan different from what they plan for themselves because they don't know how to stand their ground. It's a skill you need. So marriage requires becoming. Instead of you waiting for Mr. Right, Miss Right, you must begin to intentionally work on yourself. Marriage requires more than you finding someone. It requires you, first of all, discovering you and working on yourself and then becoming the better version so that when the person that you should marry comes in contact with you, you will just meet up at that level of discovery, that level of growth. So you are not struggling or staggering. It requires becoming someone that is capable of building and sustaining a healthy relationship. Some people know how to find relationship, but they don't know how to keep it. You must begin to learn it. If you don't learn it, it's going to be a big problem. You also need to work on your identity. Who are you as a person? Beyond your name, beyond where you work, beyond where you stay, and all of those. Who are you in destiny? Who are you as a person? What assignment are you on the head to do? What's your purpose? You must work on emotional maturity. We call it emotional intelligence, and it's key if your marriage needs to thrive. You must work on communication skill and conflict resolution skills. There are basic skills you must develop. Good enough. All that we call skills can be built, even if you don't have it. With your intentional decision to work at it, you begin to grow. So prepare for the marriage, not only the wedding. Now, you need to do this relationship pattern check. One, do I repeatedly become attracted to emotionally unavailable people? The people that I get attracted to, maybe they're the people that they are not even ready for a relationship. If that's your case, then you need to decide and move on ahead to do the right thing. Do I ignore red flags because I really like someone? If that is your case, you don't want to be sorry in the next future. So back out of that relationship. Do I become emotionally attracted very quickly? One mentee was telling me that, ma'am, I don't know what's wrong with me. It looks like I always get attracted to people quickly. And before I know it, one thing is leading to the other and all. It's a weakness. You need to work on it. Do I fear losing someone even when the relationship is unhealthy? If that is your case, please back out of that relationship because your life is more than that relationship. Do I also struggle to say no because I don't want to disappoint someone? I tell you, you don't have to make everybody happy. You are not ice cream that every time they see you, they believe in you. No, there are times you have to be firm and stand on your ground and say no because no is enough. I like you to write it in the comment section. Say no is enough. Do I also repeatedly choose people with similar unhealthy characteristics? If that is your case, then you need to work on you first of all, because it is who you are on the inside that is attracting those people. So you need to heal up from inside so that what you can enter into a relationship whole and healed. Okay, you need to also ask, do I have unresolved pain from a previous relationship? If that's your case, heal before you deal. Thank you so much, Ubanos, Prince Kalombo. Thank you so much, Wisdom. Thank you, thank you. You see, you must do what? Resolve. You must to heal up from every hurt of the past that you've had from relationship. That's why we'll be introducing to you a 3-day program. We call it Heal Before You Deal. That will help you to unravel all of the issues you've had in time past so that you don't go repeating the same pattern again and enter into the wrong relationship. Do I believe marriage will make me whole or prove my worth? Because see, marriage will only amplify who you are. It's not like it's going to bring a new you. No, it's only going to amplify who you are. If you are very responsible when you get married, to be very obvious that you're responsible. If you are very hardworking when you get married, to be obvious. If you are lazy, marriage will do it. So, do I struggle to identify what healthy love looks like? If that's your case, first of all, it means that wrong belief system have been passed through to you. You need to identify what your own belief system is about all of these things. We said it when we started the webinar. So if you missed it, you want to catch the replay again. Do I know what I need to work on before my next serious relationship? If you don't know, you need to book a clarity session with me. We have free clarity session of 30 minutes just to decipher what the issue is for you. From there, you gain clarity and decide on the next step. So remember, this is a reflection tool. It's not just a clinical diagnosis. That's why you must tell yourself the truth. On all of those questions I've asked, if you fall between 0 and 2, if your answer to all of those questions all of those 10 questions. If your answers to them are yes, between 0 and 2, then it means that there are few, I mean that out of 10, if between 0 and 2 are the ones you have responded yes to, then it means that you have a few areas that may need attention and you don't have to shy away from it, just work on them. However, if you answer yes between 3 to 5 of the questions I've mentioned, then it means that there may be significant patterns that is worth examining. And if that is your case, please book a session with me. It would help you do a diagnostic tool that helps you unravel your upbringing, your environment, and all of that have made you who you are today. If you answer yes to 6 or 10 of all the questions I've answered, so consider deep healing, self-awareness, and intentional preparation. Don't rush into marriage. If you do, you are only going to pack the blame or bleed. You are going to bleed on those who did not hurt you. So because all of the wounds is still internal, by the time you go into relationship, you are going to bleed on others who did not even cause you harm. The goal here is not for you to label yourself. Rather, the goal is for you to identify where growth is needed and to do what? To be intentional with your growth. Now, I will review to you the heal before you deal framework. And the word heal, H-E-A-L, means H for heal. Please put it in the comment section. H for heal. You need to understand and process your wounds. E means examine. You need to identify recurring patterns and your relationship blueprint. A means align. You need to align your values, your standards, boundaries, purpose, and expectations in marriage together. And L means learn. You need to develop emotional maturity, communication, discernment, and dating skills. Because even when you go into relationship without all of the necessary skills, you may hop out. So enter into relationship from a healthier place, not simply from hope or pressure. All right. So I do hope that you've been able to pick one or two things from today's session. But as I wrap up, I'd like you to know that you need to identify what your personal breakthrough will be. For instance, you may want to put in the chat box to say, okay, before today, I thought my biggest relationship problem was the fact that I always see men as evil. But now I may also need to work on me. Before my next relationship, I also need to develop necessary skills to do what? Sustain my relationship. Then ask yourself, what pattern am I committed to breaking? I told you I was breaking free from anger, yelling, and gradually I'm going there. I'm getting there. What LDR belief am I committed to building? You need to do it. Identify it so that you go into your relationship, you intentionally build it. So the truth about your story is that your heartbreak does not disqualify you from marrying. No, it does not. The fact that you've been heartbroken does not mean that you are disqualified from marrying. No. Your failed relationship does not also mean that you are doomed. Your age also does not determine your destiny. No, it does not. You do not have to be perfect before marriage, but the goal is the intentionality and what you are doing by the day. But you should be willing to grow. So don't carry yesterday's wounds into tomorrow's relationship. That will be very bad for you to do. So are you ready for deeper work? Put it in the comment section. I am ready. I am ready. Let me see you drop in the comment section that you are ready for deeper work. Because today is the beginning, not the whole journey. So if this masterclass exposed a pattern to you, whether it is one out of all those 5 patterns, don't ignore it. Because healing requires, thank you, Banos. Healing requires intentional reflection and practical action. That's why we have created the Heal Before You Deal framework. It's a program, it's a 3-day intensive program. Day 1 will be going through understanding all of the wounds you had in time past, understanding the process of your relationship wounds, and be focusing on healing for the 1. Day 2 will focus on resets, and there will be identifying your patterns, beliefs, boundaries, and relationship choices. And day 3, we'll be talking about rebuild. Prepare intentionally for healthy love and marriage. So 3 modules for these 3 days. Day 1, heal. Day 2, reset. Day 3, rebuild. And we'll also be giving to you participant workbook that will help you through the journey. And if you're married and you intend to also get married, you'll also be getting marriage readiness audits with a 21-day follow-through journey that would help you even after this session. So you may want to ask me, how much is this session? It's just a token change. So there is the standard. Standard means that you're going to get the 3-day live intensive session. You get your workbook, you have the pattern exercise, the marriage readiness audit, plus the 21-day journey. If you also want VIP, you have everything in the standard, plus personal relationship pattern review, plus private one-on-one clarity session with me. And the standard price for this is 40,000 naira, and that is $59. $59. And if what you want is what the VIP, that's 75,000 naira. That is equivalent $99. All right, that is about it. The final challenge I'm leaving you with here today is, don't just ask, when will I meet my right person? Rather, ask yourself, who am I becoming? Don't just pray for the right person. Rather, prepare to build the right relationship. And my challenge to you is, heal before you deal. I want to say thank you for joining me today, because your past is part of your story. It is not the blueprint for your future. So heal before you deal. So I'll drop my contact here with you: 08055360246. And if you are ready to join the Heal Before You Deal master program for 3 days, I want you to drop master class to register for the next session. Drop master class. Just drop it into the comment section, master class, and we'll drop the details for you on how to join. The replay of this session will also be available after now. And let me give room for anyone who has questions. Vanessa, do you have questions for me? Are there questions for anyone? You need clarity on something? Please ask your questions before we say good evening from our hand in Nigeria. Vanessa, could there be any question for me? While I'm waiting to receive your questions, do not forget these 3 books. They are available: Wed Before Bird, Before You Marry, and My Journey to Purpose and Personal Branding. They are all on seller. If you want them as soft copy, we'll be dropping the links for you. You pick it up from there. And if you also want them as hard copy, we can rebuild to you, whether in Nigeria or outside Nigeria. I want to say thank you for joining this session today. And if you gained some learnings and that you've been intentional with, I'd like you to share the link with someone so they can be blessed. I'll see you in my next episode. Don't forget to subscribe to the journey to Heal Before You Deal 3-day intensive class. Bye.